Hello and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on Voice of the People TV. I am Jerry Opelai.
And I am Vivian Uguche.
And before we begin the news, kindly visit our website www.vop.nj for fresh and trending news. And now to the headlines. Tinubu pledges to prioritize our troops' welfare.
Group faults naming public institutions after sitting president.
Tunji Ojo directs a provision of new passport printers to Nigerian consulate in U.S.
And IBB set to release memoir.
Okonjo-Iweala warns against catastrophic retaliatory tariffs.
In business news, CBN approves release of FX code.
In sports, Nigeria moves to host 2031 All-African Games.
And in entertainment news, organizers unveil full list of nominees for 97th Academy Awards. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has assured troops fighting at various internal insecurity operations across the country that he will not compromise on their welfare. Emphasizing his commitment to their well-being and safety, the president, who gave the assurance on Thursday while inaugurating the Bola Tinubu barracks in Abuja, said he would commit more resources to improving their welfare. Tinubu therefore charged troops to ensure adequate maintenance culture to keep the accommodation in good shape. Earlier, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, disclosed that over 40% of the Nigerian Army personnel were yet to be accommodated.
In another development, a public procurement advocacy group, the Network for Actualization of Social Growth and Viable Development, has faulted naming public institutions after a sitting president. In a statement, the group's head of office, Akingunola Omoni, described the act as extreme psychophancy, unethical and questionable practice. Omoni said approaching a sitting president to superintend over a matter that confers monumental benefits on him is purely wrong. He added that appointees given such honor to the president should be reminded of the code of conduct for public officers to maintain morality. It will be recalled that the federal government approved the establishment of a federal polytechnic in Abuja to be named after President Bola Tinubu.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force have rescued Folashade Odumosu, the wife of a former Assistant Inspector General of Police Hakeem Odumosu. First spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi disclosed that the kidnappers were neutralized in the rescue operation said to be led by the Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Lanre Ogunlowo. Adejobi said the operatives equally recovered the ransom paid to the kidnappers as bait. However, he will not disclose the amount paid to the kidnappers or where the victim was rescued. Folashade was abducted last Thursday at the entrance of her residence in Arepo, Owode local government area of Ogun State. The abductors took her through a swampy area to an unknown destination after dragging her out of her Lexus sports utility vehicle.
A middle-aged man from Abagana, Njikoka, local government area of Anambra State, Sunday Okonjo-Iweala, is now cooling off his head in police cell for burning his wife to death over domestic issues. Waka allegedly poured petrol on his wife during a quarrel and went ahead to set her ablaze. Meanwhile, the Anambra State government has waded into the matter to find harbor for the 5 children, just as it vowed that the full weight of the law would be meted on the man. VOB TV's correspondent in Anambra, Ndu Okpaleze, has the rest of the report.
The victim, Mrs. Blessing Chomawaka, a mother of 5 boys, was seen in a viral video clip on social media, scampering for safety while carrying a 3rd-degree burn around her torso and other parts of her body. Passers-by and neighbors managed to put out the fire on her, though it had dealt a significant burn on the victim. She was then rushed to a nearby medical facility in Enugu, in the same Njikoka local government area, where she was pronounced dead at around 3 o'clock Wednesday morning. Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, while reacting to the incident, vowed to follow up closely on the case until full justice is served. The governor's wife made the disclosure after receiving details of the viral incident from the Commissioner for Women and Children Affairs, Mrs. Ifio Binabo, and her health counterpart, Dr. Afamo Bidike, whom she had directed immediately to visit the scene of the incident. The alleged arsonist, Sunday Nwaka, has now been taken into custody and will soon face prosecution. In their separate reactions to the incident, former officer of the National Orientation Agency, Sadoni Sekemezio, an official of the Girls Guide Association, Opa Ewe, and the Anambra State chairperson of the National Association of Women Journalists, Nawoj Tochukwu Ifejika, condemned the action in its entirety, adding that it goes to portray the rising incidence of domestic violence in society.
Whatever happened, if you can see that it's a meditated action. He considered it right. He went and bought fuel, waited, and then ignited the fire. This. He would not say that this thing was on one. No, really. It's a premeditated action and it's never encouraged.
This is violence against women. We are speaking out. We keep speaking out. We tell women, speak out. Speak out. And even she seeked for help. And even she spoke out to NGOs, women affairs, different departments. They would have come to her rescue. It is very unfortunate. 5 children. And I pray no woman go through this.
A broken marriage is better than death. Whenever you see it, you cannot take it. When your mental health is at risk, at stake, please take a walk. Instead of bowing out in life, take a walk and live for us.
Concerned groups and civil society organizations are looking forward to seeing this particular case serve as a deterrent to promoters of domestic violence, especially violence against women and children. Ndo Opaleze, Voice of the People Television.
Undu, thank you for that report. We move on now. The Senate Committee on Capital Market has rejected the 2025 budget proposal of the Investments and Securities Tribunal due to errors in the figures and items presented. Chairman of the committee, Senator Osita Izunaso, rejected the proposal after a motion moved by Senator Siriaki Dixon and seconded by Senator Aliyu Wadada during the agency's budget defense. Izunaso directed the chairman to return at 12 noon on Friday to represent the budget.
The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has directed the Nigerian Immigration Service to provide new passport printers to 2 consulates in the United States. In a statement Thursday, the Minister's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Babantide Alao, said the order was an acknowledgement of previous petitions requesting passport printers in Atlanta and New York consulates. Tunji-Ojo further disclosed ongoing plans to implement a streamlined process that would enable Nigerians apply for their passports with more ease. The minister said there was already an end-to-end automation of the passport application process and the introduction of contactless application process, which was launched in Canada.
And now former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida is set to launch his long-awaited autobiography. The memoir, titled A Journey in Service, will be released on the 20th of February at the Congress Hall of Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. The development is coming 32 years after IBB left office. The Board of Trustees of the IBB Presidential Library Foundation said the book launch will take place alongside a fundraising for a presidential library. The organizers said the event will be chaired by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, with President Bola Tinubu as special guest of honor. Former President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, is billed to present the keynote address, while former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo would review the autobiography. Other guests billed for the event include former heads of state, General Yakubu Gowon and General Abdul Salami Abubakar, as well as former Presidents Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari. Well, you're still watching the news at 9 on Voice of the People TV. After the break, Okonjo-Iweala warns against catastrophic retaliatory tariffs. Do stay with us for this and more interesting stories. We'll be right back.
It's good to have you back with us. Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has enjoined the nations to drop their planned retaliatory tariffs on business enterprises and economic goods and services in response to threats by United States President Donald Trump. Such retaliatory trade war, she warned, would be catastrophic for the world economy. Okonjo-Iweala made the appeals during a panel discussion on tariffs at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Her appeal was on the heels of President Trump's tariff threats against China, the European Union, Mexico, and Canada. She urged nations to hyperventilate, reminding them of how the smooth, Hawley Tariff Act in the United States during the Great Depression in 1930 prompted retaliation and worsened the global economic crisis at the time. According to Okonjo-Iweala, nations have other avenues to explore rather than a retaliatory tariff without the necessary groundwork. She added that if nations adopt a tit-for-tat retaliation, whether with 25 or 60% tariff, it could lead to double-digit and catastrophic global GDP losses.
In the meantime, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has issued a warning to telecommunications operators to prioritize improved service quality. This comes after the Nigerian Communications Commission approved a 50% increase in telecom tariffs. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada reports.
Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) has warned telecommunications operators to ensure improved service quality following the Nigerian Communications Commission approval of a 50% increase in telecom tariffs. The new tariff, effective January 22, 2025, was introduced to address rising operational costs in the telecom sector caused by inflation and increased demand for infrastructure. However, the FCCPC emphasized that the additional revenue from the tariff adjustment must be invested in enhancing service delivery, stating that failure to address issues such as network congestion, dropped calls, slow internet speeds, and poor customer service would attract regulatory action. The approved 50% hike, a reduction from over 100% initially proposed by operators, was described by the FCCPC as a balanced decision aimed at sustaining the industry while keeping telecom services affordable. Voice of the People TV followed up with citizens to gather their reactions to these developments.
We're going to increase the tariff because from the look of things, everything has changed automatically. So stopping them from not increasing their tariff, they will be out of the business. Because I think the whole thing boils down on the fuel price that they increased, and the labor did not do anything about it. So at this point, definitely they are going to increase their tariff, because if you look at these telecom providers, they use electricity. There's no NEPA. Most of the time they use gen, and they're not buying it from the market. So the government is not doing what they're supposed to do. So I think everybody is on its own. They must be there. So my own is that in as much as they want to increase, let the service improve.
I would say there should be a tariff increase because it's really affecting presently, because I think when you load a charge card, example of the charge card of 100 naira, you want to make call, at least that 100 naira should be able to carry like 3 minutes, minimum 3 minutes. But these times like that, most of the network like MTN, you make a call, you load 100 now, you just make maybe 1.5 minutes, which is 1 minute and maybe some 30 seconds, and you find out they will tell you that the money has exhausted. Instead of them to allow you to finish it, they will still talk inside, whereby the remaining one, they will use it to talk inside, whereby the money will finish, be able to make your call like 2 minutes. So they should increase it. They should increase the tariff from that 100. Like I'll be able to make like maybe like 4 minutes or 3 minutes. It's okay like that. The masses should be able to use most of their network, most of the MTN, and also to other networks.
Use the tariff because, likewise I said, nobody is equal to the tax. So someone might make a call of that kind of amount, but the other view might not as well make the same cause the way the other people usually make. So I don't understand that. I believe they should not increase the tariff.
As we've heard, opinions are mixed regards the 50% tariff increase. While some acknowledge the need for industry sustainability, others justify the need for improved service delivery to justify the hike. We will continue to follow these developments closely, providing you with further updates. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
All right, Nigerians, they have been divided opinions on the increase of tariff by the telecom operators. All right, over to the news where the Federal Capital Territory High Court has accepted the amendment by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to the charge against the former Minister of Power, Olu Agunoye. The EFCC had arraigned Agunoye last year on a 7-count charge involving forgery, disobedience of presidential order, and corruption in the Mambila Power Plant project in Taraba State. The anti-graft agency later amended the charge, which Agunoye's lawyer, Adiola Adedipe, objected to, arguing that it would overreach his client. Ruling on the case today, however, Justice Jude Owengoze held that the prosecution was entitled to amend its charge at any stage before judgment. Justice Jude, after reviewing the EFCC's affidavit in support of the motion for amendment, allowed the change. The judge also dismissed the defendant's contention that the amendment was intended to overreach him.
Meanwhile, some members of the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party have declared support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State. The NWC members expressed solidarity with Fubara on Thursday in Port Harcourt, the state capital, declaring him the leader of the PDP in the South-South state. The delegation included the PDP spokesperson Debo Ologunagba and the National Treasurer Ahmed Mohammed. Mohammed, who spoke after the meeting with the governor, said the party was strategizing to regain power in 2027. The PDP NWC is reportedly divided, with Mohammed and Ologunagba leading one faction, while other members align with the acting national chairman Umar Damagun.
The United Nations Children's Fund has called on the Benue State government to increase budgetary allocations for nutrition and strengthen multi-sectoral collaboration to address the challenges of child malnutrition in the state. The officer in charge for Chief of UNICEF Field Office Enugu, Dr. Shamina Shamin, made the call in Makurdi during a policy dialogue with the Benue State Executive and Legislative Councils on investment in nutrition. She canvassed 6 months of paid maternity leave and strengthening of collaboration across sectors to ensure that every child has an equal opportunity to thrive. Shamin reaffirmed UNICEF's commitment to partnering the state and other stakeholders to address malnutrition and ensure proper growth for children under 5. The UNICEF representative commended the state government for approving and launching the Benue State Policy on Food and Nutrition and the State Multi-Sectoral Strategic Plan for Nutrition.
Now, Godwin Mutkut has officially assumed command as the first commander of the Multinational Joint Task Force, a counter-insurgency publication focused on the Lake Chad region. Zagazola Makama reports that the handover ceremony took place Thursday at the MNJTF headquarters in Facha, N'Djamena, Chad. Mutkut succeeded Ibrahim Ali, whose tenure, according to the publication, was reportedly credited with strengthening regional security and counter-terrorism efforts across the region. In his inaugural address, Mutkut expressed gratitude to the Lake Chad Basin Commission and the member states for entrusting him with the position. He pledged to build on the achievements of his predecessors, vowing to promote peace and stability in the region. Up next, business, sport, entertainment stories. After this short break, stay with us.
Welcome back, and now to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria has officially approved the release of the Nigerian Foreign Exchange Code, a move aimed at fostering ethical conduct and transparency within the nation's foreign exchange market. In a statement on its website, the Apex Bank disclosed that the code, which will serve as a vital guideline for the banking industry, is designed to ensure that authorized dealers uphold the highest standards of professionalism and integrity when conducting FX transactions. The CBN emphasized that the introduction of the foreign exchange code is part of its ongoing efforts to enhance the stability and integrity of Nigeria's foreign exchange market.
Well, still business news, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group has forecast a 5.5% growth in Nigeria's gross domestic product in 2025, driven by ongoing economic reforms. NASG revealed the projection on Thursday at the launch of its 2025 macroeconomic outlook. Chief Economist and Director of Research and Development at NASG, Olusegun Omisaki, stressed that with efficient policy reforms, Nigeria's economy has the potential to achieve this growth.
And now to sports. 22 years after hosting the All-African Games in Abuja, Nigeria has indicated interest in staging the African version of the Olympics again in 2031. The interest to host the 2021 Africa Games emerged following a meeting between the National Sports Commission Chairman Shehu Diko and Africa Union Commissioner Minata Samara Sesonma at the recently concluded Inter-Regional African Ministerial Meeting in Banjul, Gambia. Though the interest remains unofficial, without a formal bid, the NSC chairman revealed that his meeting with the African Union Commissioner explored the possibility of hosting the Games in 2031. The country has not hosted a major international sporting event since the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in 2019.
And now Nigeria's home-based Super Eagles will now face Equatorial Guinea in Group D of the 2024 African Nations Championship after the Confederation of African Football disqualified Congo-Brazzaville for fielding an ineligible player in the qualifiers. Congo's disqualification was confirmed on Thursday after the CAF Disciplinary Board released a verdict on the issue. The decision follows a formal complaint by the Equatorial Guinea Football Federation and a subsequent investigation by the Disciplinary Board.
And now to entertainment, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences on Thursday unveiled the nominations for the 97th Oscars. The awards aim to honor the finest cinematic achievements in Hollywood. Winners will be revealed during a live televised ceremony at the iconic Dolby Theatre at Ovation Hollywood on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. Among the 10 actors in the leading role nominees are Adrian Brody and The Brutalist, while the actor in the supporting role nominees include Yura Borisov and Anora, among others. During the gala, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will present the coveted Academy Awards, widely known as the Oscars, across 23 categories to honor the standout films of 2024. According to the Academy, this year's awards reflect a renewed commitment to diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion, shaping a more vibrant and inclusive cinematic future. Meanwhile, comedian and podcaster Conan O'Brien will make his hosting debut, while Raj Kapoor and Kathy Mulan return as executive producers.
Well, still entertainment news, Afrobeat sensation Omar Lay has unveiled a striking new look at the 2025 Louis Vuitton men's fashion show held at the Cours du Louvre in France. The event marks the beginning of Paris Fashion Week. In viral photos, Omar Lay is seen sporting a stylish orange striped suit paired with a white shirt and black tie. He complemented his outfit with a white bag, shoes, and silver earrings. However, it was his drastically different hairstyle that caught the attention of fans and fashion enthusiasts alike. The 27-year-old singer, known for his signature dreadlocks or natural hair, apparently relaxed his hair and styled it in curls, showcasing a very different look. That wraps it up for us on the news at 9, but before we go, a recap of the major headlines to wrap up the news. We told you that Tinubu has pledged to prioritize troops' welfare.
Will falls in naming public institutions after sitting president.
We also told you that Tunjojo has directed provisions of new passport printers to Nigerian consulates in the U.S.
IBB is set to release a memoir.
And Okonjo-Iweala has warned against catastrophic retaliatory tariffs.
In business, CBN approves release of foreign exchange code.
Well, in sports news, Nigeria has moved to host 2031 All-Africa Games.
In entertainment, organizers unveiled full list of nominees for 97th Academy Awards. And
well, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. And on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Well, I am Vivian Uguche.
And I'm Jerry. Good evening.
Good evening.